Hello, Holy Comments listeners. Did you know that you can get an extended and unedited version of this episode on Patreon? It includes 2 to 4 more comment reviews than you'll hear in this episode. Hit the link in the description to watch that. Janice Selby has also just released her new book, Divorcing Religion, a memoir and survival handbook. This is a must-read if you've left religion. Find the link to this book in the description. Welcome to Holy Fucking Comments. This is Judgment Day for Holy Trolls. It's a reckoning for the righteous and a sentencing for the sanctimonious. This is the podcast where we review the comments that we've gotten over the last week as atheist women content creators on the internet. This is my lovely co-host, Janice. Hello, Janice.
Hello, everybody. We're joining you from Canada.
Yes.
That's my Canadian accent.
I think we just naturally have a Canadian accent, but I don't notice it. I've had people make fun of the way I say about. How are you doing, Janice? How's your week been?
You know, my week itself has been okay, but all this craziness that's going on in the United States right now is extremely distracting. And of course, I work with clients who are recovering from religious trauma, and a lot of them are super duper triggered by exactly what's going on in the States right now with right-wing Christian nationalists, Christian supremacists trying to flex their muscles and just make things generally miserable for everybody else. So I'm having a bit of a moment, but I got my mug that makes me feel so much better. Nope.
Yeah, not having it. Yeah, I posted the t-shirt that I made a few years ago. I made a t-shirt that says life begins when you stand up to Christian fascists. And
that's good.
And I posted that the other day, and people spread it far and wide. Like, this is a message people are liking, and it is very scary. It is very scary right now. I don't know what to think. I don't even know how to plan. You know what I mean? Because I know like people always say like, you're Canadian. What do you care? Well, it deeply affects us, especially with the potential tariffs coming down the pipe. And it's scary what's going on, and it's been very unsettling. So I'm glad that we're doing this episode today because I need a few laughs.
Me too.
Yes.
Yeah, let's see what we got going on today.
Yeah, let's check out the first comment.
Atheists, the only people constantly offended by someone they are convinced doesn't exist.
Are you offended by someone you think doesn't exist? I think we're more offended by his followers.
Yes, indeed. It's not the God. It's the people who are imposing the rules of said God, which are really the rules they made up on, or trying to impose them on us. And I mean, as we see what's going on down south, we can see what it looks like when you're actually imposing those things on people legally, as the government of the United States starts to lean further and further towards a Christian state, which is wild.
Yeah, you know, I actually saw a post this morning and I shared it, and it was taken from inside the FBI building, and on the wall of the building they had all these like virtues and things that they stood for: integrity, truth, honesty, equality, all these things. And in the photo someone was painting over all of those because of the ridiculous nonsense that the PHOTUS, I'm sure people can figure out what that stands for, keeps passing and keeps trying to exert over people. Yeah, so it's really an issue with the followers because, yeah, we don't believe that any gods exist.
Yeah. And like that's a big thing that we're offended by, that hasn't been something that we have had to deal with our whole lives, but there are other ways that they impose their beliefs on other people, such as showing up at my door in the middle of my workday when I have things to do and I don't want to be rude. But it's like they kind of sometimes give you no choice. It's like, have some tact. You know what I mean? This is your worldview. This is your beliefs. It doesn't have anything to do with me. You don't need
Yeah.
to be on my doorstep right now.
Yeah.
And there's other ways too. Like when my son was in Scouts, there was a couple of moments where a prayer was said, and you're making, like, my son didn't say the prayer or anything like that, but you're making people feel ousted kind of and not a part of the group when they don't involve themselves in that sort of thing. So it's like just all these little things over all of our lives. That's what we get offended by, not the God, because like, we're atheists. We don't really believe in him.
Well, and I mean, even look at things like taxes. These organizations get breaks on taxes. They don't have to pay the same as everybody else because supposedly they're doing some kind of good. Now, I know that there are some churches, they are out there where they truly are feeding the hungry and trying to house the homeless and actually trying to help people. But I don't think that's the case for a great many of them, especially I think a lot of the mega churches that have mega bucks. Yeah, it's frustrating. Like, where's the equality? I have to pay my taxes.
Yeah, exactly. And I know in the States it's like they don't have to pay taxes, and the deal is they don't, involve politics in their church. They don't talk about it. They don't lean one way or the other. But we know that that's not what's going on in reality, right? Like, they are very clearly influencing elections and the way that people vote. And it's like, yes, of course we're going to be offended by that because that is not our worldview, and it shouldn't be legislated on people who don't share that worldview.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. And that is why, coincidentally, we also talk mostly about Christianity, because it's not Muslims or Jews doing this. It is Christian fundamentalists in the West affecting directly our lives. So, yes, we will have something to say about it, as would you if it were the other way around and someone else was trying to impose a religion you didn't believe in on you.
Yep, totally agree.
Yes. So how many smicks? Of course, just a quick reminder that we vote, or we rate these comments out of 5 smicks, because at one point in time I got an amazing comment from somebody who said that there are a million smicks in a clue and you don't even have a smick. And I just thought it was the greatest thing
That was
ever.
very
And
silly.
So we're attempting to get a clue by raising smicks. So we rate these comments out of 5 smicks based on whatever the heck we want.
Well, I think this person was a ding dong. I'm only going to give this 0.5 smicks, not even 0.5 of one smick.
Yeah, I'm giving this 1.5 too, because is it spelling and grammar? Like, it's just awful. Be gone. Should we check out the next? Let's check out the next comment.
A Christian should never date a non-Christian. The point of dating is for the purpose of marriage. If you're not going to marry the person, then why get involved? Religion should be the first thing you talk about on the first date.
Well, I don't think they're wrong with that last sentence, because I want to know. I would want to make sure the person I was on a date with was not.
Yes. But I have known many people who have been in relationships, like many atheists who have been in relationships with Christians, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. And I think that it is important to discuss religion beforehand, for sure, but that you love who you love, you can't really change that. It can work. Like, I've seen it work before, as long as you just are capable of respecting each other. And that shouldn't be challenging, to be honest. But dating, the purpose of dating is not marriage. Why is everything so transactional? You know what I mean? Like, it's so weird. Dating is about exploring and companionship and friendship and having fun. Yeah, and it's not about marriage. I'm not even here's a secret. I'm not even technically married to John, but we have been together for a very, very long time and we're perfectly happy. We have kids.
Living in
Everything's
sin.
yeah, I mean, our life isn't perfect, but everything between us is relatively good, and, like, it's just not about marriage, I don't know.
I'll tell you why, because we're not living in 1832.
Yeah,
Like, come on, please join us in the year 2025. Uh, women actually do have full autonomy. I'm in Canada, of course. Sadly, in the United States, some of their rights are being repealed, but women get to date or not date whomever they want for however long they want for whatever reasons that they want. So no, this is just very it's religious nonsense kind of coming at things from an immature, um emotional and outdated, archaic idea. That's what I think.
it is, and it's perfectly valid for anybody to never marry if they don't want to. It's perfectly valid, and to stay single even if you want. I know there's lots of very happy single women out there, so, and probably some happy single men as well. But there's no pressure. It's your life. Live it the way you want. That's how I feel anyway.
And I also know people who are quite happy marrying over and over and over again. And what people do is their business. So, na 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 na.
Yeah, exactly. How many smicks does this proponent of marriage get?
Mm, I might give it one just because I liked it. It sparked a little bit of discussion. That's what I liked about it.
Yeah. I'm not feeling very generous today. I'm still going to give this one a 0.5 because it just feels like a time traveler from like the 1860s.
Putting the ick in smick. I get it.
Well, Janice, we have a new inductee into the Council of Prayers.
Oh, yay.
So, the Council of Prayers should not be confused with the Council of Prayers because it is a council of a collected bunch of people who have said that they are praying for Janice and I. And we thought we would put them all in one room to centralize the power of the prayer so that Janice and I benefit. How have you benefited from our prayers this week, Janice?
Having a pretty good hair day. Got some curl action happening there. People keep buying my book, which is also awesome. People can see it behind me. It's called Divorcing Religion, a Memoir and Survival Handbook. So those are things I'm thankful for. How about you?
Well, I got a cool new haircut that requires about 7 gallons less shampoo. So saving money.
It's good for the environment.
Yeah, it's good for the environment. And it's saving me a lot of time because when I'm flat ironing, I don't have to spend 17 hours doing so. It's nice. Yeah. So, it's not often that I come out of a haircut happy. So these prayers are really doing their job.
Yeah, because you're cute as a button.
Thank you. I don't think I ever want my hair to grow out again. It's so nice and freeing. Do you want to hear what our new inductee said?
Lay it on me.
Okay.
I am scared for so many people in the US. Praying for you.
Okay, I can say amen.
Yeah.
Because that is exactly how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, but I'm not going to pray. I'm probably going to do a lot of talking about it and, I like providing places on the internet where people can talk about stuff. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I get angry and I get sad, and I get scared, and I type all those things out and put them out into the world, actually, to try and encourage people, because even though fear is contagious, so is courage. And this is a time where we really need to gather our courage and stick together and stand up for people who really need our help. That's better than praying.
It is. Action is far better than praying, and I hope that we understand that at some point as a culture, because it seems like nobody's doing anything. Feels like it, you know. But anyway, thank you very much to our latest member of the Council of Prayers for your comment. It was a nice comment, but not so much the praying. Although, if you're going to pray, like Janice says, send money, and then we'll be very happy about it.
That's right. That's right. Those prayers don't mean anything if they don't have money attached.
Such a big council now. Okay, let's check out the next comment.
You do know until their age of accountability God's hand is upon them, but afterwards you will be held accountable for their education in the ways of God. Good luck with that. You don't have to teach them right from wrong. It's going to come naturally to them.
Janice, you don't have to teach kids right from wrong. That's what this guy's saying.
Yeah.
You don't
boy.
have to teach kids right from wrong.
But you will be held accountable. Yeah, there's a lot going on in this. And I feel like the writer was conflicted. They had some ideas from over here, but then they also had some ideas from over here, and they just kind of burped them all out and put them together.
Yeah. It's usually the way that it goes. It just ends up being word salad, especially like for me, since I've never been religious, never even really been to church much outside of special events. I'll read these word salad comments from believers, and I have no idea. I'm so lost. And then some of my formerly religious atheist followers will get into the comments and start replying to them because they know more about what they're talking about. And I'm just like, I have no idea what you're saying. It just makes no sense to me.
Right. Well, the idea of the age of accountability is the idea of when a child becomes responsible for their sins, for committing sins. But it doesn't. The Bible doesn't actually say what that age is, and so this differences of opinion on when that age is can influence on when different denominations believe that baptism should take place. Yeah, I mean, frankly, I don't believe in sin, but I do believe that people are capable of really harmful and unhealthy behavior, unkind behavior that hurts other people. And everybody is responsible, has to be accountable for their actions and for their words too. So this is something we teach children when they're young, that their words have consequences and their actions have consequences. So hopefully they learn to be kind and to treat others as they would like to be treated.
Yeah, and you don't need any divine commandments to tell you that. I learned that as a child, and my parents were atheists. They didn't have any divine commandments to follow, and my brother and I both are teaching our kids the same things, and all of our kids, there's 4 of them altogether. My brother has 2, I have 2, and they're all wonderfully compassionate human beings. Although my nephew is very young, so we'll see. I'm sure he'll be just as compassionate as the rest of us.
Right. Yeah, it's humanism.
Like, it's not hard to look at somebody's face and know that you've hurt them or you've done something to hurt them. You don't need rules from God or any sort of scripture or book to look at somebody and recognize hurt, pain, confusion, frustration. You don't need that. Like, you are built biologically to be able to recognize those feelings in other people, and it is a mechanism of survival of the fittest, because families that love each other tend to last longer and are able to produce more healthy offspring that survive longer. So it's, it sounds very clinical to whittle it down to something as a part of like evolution or survival of the fittest, but that is why we love each other and why we can look at each other and recognize when we've hurt each other and adjust our behavior based on that. It has nothing at all to do with God.
No, there's nothing supernatural about it. It's very human.
Yeah, and it's sad. It's always been so sad to me that people want this ability to be a moral person to be like this magical thing. Like we couldn't possibly do this on our own, It's such a sad thing to say about humans.
Oh yeah, definitely have people dropping into my comments on YouTube channel talking about how I, as an atheist, I don't have any moral compass, or I lack morals. That only comes from God and Christianity in particular. And then I'm thinking, do you realize how new your religion is in the scheme of things? Like, do you think that people didn't have any morals? I guess not. It was just a free for all.
Yeah, just murdering everywhere. Just sprees.
Mayhem. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's absurd. And I don't know. I hate that line, good luck with that, It's like that they don't mean anything of the sort. And it's just, I don't know. It's such a word salad. It didn't make me laugh. It didn't make me think. So I'm still giving this one a 0.5.
Yeah, same.
Let's look at the next comment.
It doesn't really matter. The most important is Jesus loves us.
Okay.
The perfect answer to this every single time that I like to say is, let him tell me. If he loves me, let him tell me. I'm open. I am standing here. I am waiting. Tell me you love me, Jesus.
Yes, preferably in large denominations, like with lots of money raining down, $50, $100, $1,000 bills. Yeah, boy.
Like you let Trump become president. It doesn't feel very loving, Jesus.
Here's what I say. Nope.
If Jesus loves us, he is a terrible, terrible love. Like, I've never seen him. I've never sensed him. I've never detected him. I've never seen his work. Nothing. So,
yeah, this also seems very culty. It seems very culty. And we see crossover here between the Christian supremacists and the MAGA diehards, where people are like that. They're praising and worshiping the orange man instead of, it's like they used to, whatever love and reverence they had for Jesus, they've transferred over to POTUS, and it's no good.
pumpkin Pol Pot. Santa Führer. I love thinking up new things that are orange. And yeah. This one, another just low effort. This is just a terrible comment all around. Nothing. I won't remember it in 5 minutes. So I'm giving this one a 0.5 too. Let's go. Let's see if I can go the whole way with just 0.5s.
The most interesting thing about it was the capital S they used at the end. I would also give it 0.5, I'm afraid.
Let's take a look at the next comment.
I just looked at your page and started vomiting. Liberalism is a mental disorder, while last time I saw a mouth like that, it had a hook in it.
Okay.
My old profile picture was a picture of me making this funny. I had bright red lipstick on, and I'm with my son, and I'm making this funny face or something like that.
Okay. Well, that makes a bit more sense than with the fish comment.
Yeah, and that's totally fair. I'm not even going to take offense to that. No, that's totally fair. I was making a face on purpose, and that's what I was going for. But if you were looking at my if you were just looking at my page and you started vomiting and now you're typing a comment, my concern is for your keyboard.
Consult a doctor. Yes.
I'm not sure you're fit to be on Facebook if you are having this kind of real life reaction to somebody's Facebook page. And you know what's even weirder is like if it's giving you this violent physical reaction, why are you commenting? Because you know how the algorithm works, right? Like now you're gonna see me more.
Good point. Oh, and you know, the one line in there, liberalism is a mental disorder. This just makes me think of at the recent inauguration in the US and all that stuff that was going on. And there was a lady priest or pastor of some sort, and she did this prayer or talk, and she was asking the orange man to like have mercy, to be compassionate. And then the religious people turned around and said empathy is a sin. So this comment makes me think maybe the troll subscribes, unfortunately, to that notion, which is just horrifying and completely backwards to how I think how Jesus is actually depicted in the Bible. I mean, I don't believe in the Bible. I don't believe Jesus was even a real person. But the stories of him, he was compassionate. He embodied compassion in a lot of ways. So, yeah, it's just lame.
Yeah. I don't know that Jesus would be proud of this person. But the liberalism, too, it's funny because I've made a point on a lot of my socials that I don't really call myself a liberal. I call myself a progressive because I think liberalism is not far enough for me, you know? I think we need a lot more change than a lot of self-identified liberals believe in. So, yeah, if you're wondering, don't even really consider myself a liberal. I like to be called a progressive.
I like to be called a secular humanist.
I'm also that.
Mm-hmm.
This is another 0.5 for me. And this isn't just me sticking to the 0.5 thing. This is just bad.
Although I did like the part about the fish hook, because then you had to explain about your old picture. So I'm going to do one. I'm going to give 1.
Good call on that one.
I would note that you've officially passed the 100 smick threshold, though.
Wow. That's amazing. We should celebrate.
Yes, 100 smick.
Yay.
We have to get to 1 million, so got some work to do.
But think how much farther ahead would be if each one of those smicks came with $10.
Yes. Then we could make some real change. Like, I could get new socks. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for watching Holy Comments. Janice, where can everybody find you?
They can find me as Divorcing Religion. Most places, and except on Blue Sky, I'm there as Janice Selby. And on Facebook, I'm Divorcing Religion Workshop. My book is Divorcing Religion. My podcast is Divorcing Religion. My YouTube channel is Divorcing Religion. But my conference is Shameless Sexuality, Life After Purity Culture. And I'm hosting it in person in May this year in Seattle. I'm very excited. It's going to be a great time. And I'd love to see people there. Come join me there. Go to shamelesssexuality.org to find out more and get your tickets.
Yep. And the links for everything will be down below, so you can just click that. I'll put the link for the Life Begins When You Stand Up to Christian Fascist t-shirt as well, because we should all be wearing it, let's face it. It also has a middle finger sticking out.
Not a middle finger.
Because I'm so edgy.
Well, this was fun. Thanks, Courtney.
Yes, it was. Thank you for joining me, and we'll be back next week. Thanks for watching.
Bye, everyone.